everyone, this is Katy Almstrom, and today I'm talking to you about how our budget is so different in April 2020. So we are going to go through the 3 major changes that we've experienced and what I think you should be watching for too. Okay, and be sure to stay around until the end because I'm going to share my favorite app for budgeting. Oh my gosh, it's just the best, and it's what I use for our family. So be sure to stick around for that. We have been home now for 3 weeks with the kids. My husband is working from home, all due to the coronavirus pandemic that we're experiencing. Even if you're watching this video long after this is all over, a lot of what I'm going to teach today is good information for any time you're going into storm mode, whether you're going to have a kid or you are switching jobs or you're moving. These are the 3 major things I want to cover that are changes with our budget: our income, our expenses, and our goals. Okay, so the first way that our budget and our plan for our money in April is super different from normal is our income. I work outside of the house, and the bulk of my business is meeting in groups and teaching workshops and being on site at banks and businesses and schools. So we've taken quite a hit in income for April. That's the first thing we have to do, is really look at, okay, what do we have to work with? What is our income for April? If you have lost your income temporarily or one of your streams of income has gone away, you've got to sit back down and get it on paper. Now, another thing that might be different for you and your income in April is, are you getting a tax return? A lot of people get their tax returns done in February or March or April, and that check or that direct deposit comes in just around now. If that is coming in April and you can count on it, go ahead and include that in your income as well. The stimulus check that we've been hearing about, and again, this is early April 2020 that I'm filming this, nobody really knows when that's going to hit. I wouldn't count on it now, but have a plan for it if it does show up. Okay, so income. It's a huge change for some of us, and it's really important that you go back from scratch to the drawing board and say, what are we going to have in April to work with? All right, guys, the second major change to our budgeting, our money plan in April is our expenses. Oh my gosh, there's so much changes to our expenses for April. The most dramatic of all of it, I think, is childcare. So we have 2 kids who are both in childcare almost full time. It's a huge, huge expense for our family. This is one big change where we're only going to have maybe 25% of our childcare bill in April that we're used to because the kids were only in school for a little bit in March. Looking ahead to May, we're probably not going to have any kind of May bill either. Think about your lifestyle, like what has changed the most? I have clients out in, big cities who spend hundreds of dollars a month in takeout at the office, and now they're home. Like they are eating 100% at home. And so that's a huge change. What's the biggest change for your family? I'd love to know. Put it in the comments because I just think it's so interesting that we're all forced into these new kinds of lifestyles that we're not used to, and we're making these adjustments and stay home. That's a big one for us. The second big one is restaurants, also fuel for our cars. I drive, hundreds of miles every single week. I fill up my van probably twice a week. I haven't really been in my van at all in 3 weeks. Savings on fuel, savings on restaurants. As a family, we've decided we're not going to restaurants, and we'll purchase gift cards and support the businesses as much as we can, but we're not actually going to buy takeout. We don't have a restaurant line item right now. Those are some of the biggest changes for us. And then other things, I just went through my budget and made the changes because I'd already done my April budget. I do my budgets like a couple months in advance just to kind of get the ball rolling. And then as we get closer, I say, okay, what's actually happening next month? And I make adjustments. But I already had my April budget done. Some things that I went through, I was like, oh, no haircut. So I took the haircut line item out. Oh, we're not going to be paying for swimming. So I took the swimming out. My son has piano lessons. We're going to cut that in half. But a lot of our expenses for April went away, and we live pretty frugally. So I basically just named every line item on our budget. So gas, restaurants, piano, swimming, and what was the other thing? Oh, childcare. So that's like everything that we spend money on. But some things that are different, we're going to be spending more money on are groceries. So all of our meals are going to be at home. My husband isn't going to eat at work. I'm not going to be, at our coffee shop. There's no restaurants. So everything is coming from the grocery store. The grocery bill is going to be larger. It already was in March, and I was very careful to sort of look back and see how it changed over the last couple of weeks in March and planned accordingly for April. Okay, so another thing that might be a little bit higher is household stuff, Amazon Prime purchases, new subscriptions. Like, what are you going to add that might support your new lifestyle at home? To dig into some house projects that you've been putting off. Get your kids a couple of new Lego kits. There's a lot of opportunities to spend more money when we're home. Now, I'm not saying do it, but I'm just saying be prepared for it. Budget accordingly. Your gym might not be charging you this month, or it might be a reduced rate to have online access or something. Really you just have to say, what are we going to spend our money on in April? It's no different from what I usually teach. Dig in and question like everything in your budget. That is number 2. Expenses. Boy, are they different. So really take the time to figure out how are your expenses totally changing in April. If you haven't told me what your biggest change is going to be in April, put it in the comments below, please. I'm so curious. I want to know what's different for people, and I want to know how we're all adjusting to this. I need you to temporarily stop paying off your debt so quickly. If that's where you are right now, if you are, I teach Dave Ramsey's baby steps. If you're in baby step 2 and you are paying off your debt like a crazy person, you gotta stop, okay? So again, it's your money, you choose. I'm coaching all of my clients right now to put a hold on it and save up some money. We're holding off on some plans for the house, for investing in my business a little bit more. We're just going to stop everything and save money. So it's really important that you are able to reframe your mindset and say, what's really the goal for moving forward? What do we want to be able to accomplish? So if there is an income change, I want you to feel confident and comfortable moving forward. I think it's a really great opportunity to practice what is it like to have money in savings and still live below your means on a budget. So sit back, reset, build your confidence that you're going to be able to weather the storm no matter what situation you're in right now. Have that mindset of, we're going to save up what we can, we're gonna get through this, and then, hey, when it's all over, oh my gosh, throw all of the money towards the debt. Please, that would be amazing. So that was the 3 major changes in our April budget, and what I think you should be focusing on as you wrap your April budget up, if it's not done yet, or if you need to go back and take another look. Income. Really look at it, write it down. Expenses, they might be wildly different. And of course, your mindset about how we're framing our goals during these uncertain times. All right, guys, I promised you my favorite app for budgeting, and that is everydollar.com. It's an app on your phone. There's also a website. It is super customizable, which is just perfect. I love that. You can make it exactly your family's budget and just take out all the fluff that's not yours, add in your unique line items that you spend money on, and it saves it for you month to month. You don't have to start over every month. You can just make the little changes. If you haven't found an app that you like, I encourage you to try EveryDollar. It's super easy. I use the free version, and I'd like to know, what are your apps for budgeting? What do you use? What do you like? Let me know in the comments. I really am curious what other people use and what they like so that I can recommend great ideas for my clients who don't love EveryDollar or whatever. So, okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments, get in touch with me. So please be sure to like this video if it was helpful for you and share it with someone who might really appreciate that. Subscribe so that next week when I put out a new video, you get to find out first. And speaking of next week, I'm going to share exactly how I budget every single month. So I'm going to go through the step-by-step details. We're going to have a handout. So I'm just going to teach you exactly what I do, how I budget every single month. And this is what I teach all my clients. If you are like, yep, now's the time, I really need to figure this budgeting thing out, or you just want to learn a new way, stick with me, and next week we will go through it step by step.